Thanks for staying with us. We're still reviewing Punch. What's the story?
Okay, I have the federal lawmakers pushing for 32 new federal varsities. So, in fact, this Punch has a funny twist to it. It said that the lawmakers have no fewer than 32 bills tabled before the Senate and the House of Reps asking for the creation of new universities, polytechnics, colleges of education since the inauguration of this assembly. And they said the Punch took a report of it, that Nigeria has a total of 52 federal universities. The official data from the National Universities Commission revealed that 63 state universities and 147 private universities also are in the country. And the National Board for Technical Education put the number of our federal polytechnics at 40, state-owned polytechnics at 49, private at 76, and 70 federal and state-owned colleges of health, while the number of private colleges of health is 17. Yet, we had the speaker and his deputy speaker leading the pack for, approval of 32 new federal institutions in the country. Of course, ASU is telling them, don't even try establish new institutions when you cannot fund the existing ones already. But they said that the Speaker of the House House of Assembly, the Federal House of Reps was asking for the establishment of the Federal University of Technology, Kaduna, while the Deputy Speaker his own was asking for the establishment of Federal University of Medical and Health Sciences, Bende in Abia. So everybody just wants school for a backyard.
Simple.
But how are we going to fund? Nobody talks about that.
Exactly.
Even
the quality of the schools
are passed. And without talking about the funding of this institution, shows the law.
Which brings me to my own story. Universities in Nigeria are battling a severe shortage of staff as thousands of lecturers leave the tertiary institutions to seek greener pastures in foreign lands amid high numbers of retirements and universities. So Punch talked to a few of these universities. We have Usman Danfodio University, Sokoto, said about 100 lecturers have left the university. Wow. Federal University Gusau Zamfara disclosed that the institution is in need of 1,000 lecturers to fill the vacancies. Abeokuta Federal University Agriculture, 350 academic vacancies. So many vacancies across all our universities. And some of the reasons why they think we have this shortages, one is that, yes, many of them are leaving for different countries. Two, the process of employing new lecturers is quite cumbersome and bureaucratic. So it will take many stages. They say that you'll have to, as a senior professor, you have to, get a vice chancellor needs to get clearance from about 7 federal government agencies and parastatals before a single staffer is recruited. And that's the same for Unijos. University of Jos said that the last time that they did a proper recruitment was in 2017. Other universities have said that as well, that they haven't recruited in a long time. So people are leaving to other countries. Staff that have retired or died, their positions haven't been filled. And we have vacancies across in thousands and thousands. So while you're talking about that, be aware of what is going on with the current universities right now.
In the related stories in different papers, but since we're still talking about universities, the president has spoken through the Minister of Niger Delta, Engineer Abubakar Momo, at the University of Benin's 48th convocation ceremony. And the president expressed confidence in the proposed policy of giving back autonomy to the university. According to he said, the university autonomy will no doubt transfer the responsibilities of performance directly to individual institutions rather than the current state of uncertainty. So obviously the country is considering the policy of where universities can be self-funding. So in addition to whatever the federal government is giving to you, you also must be able to generate your own, because all this no salaries payments or infrastructure, it's really difficult for government to do it equally across all the states. So they definitely need to start considering the policy of funding. Okay, let's move on quickly now to Vanguard. Hardship, more Nigerians opt for loans to make ends meet. FG reviews draft policy on local vaccine manufacturing. FG Malls full autonomy of universities. Serap to World Bank suspend loans to states over misspending. FG approves National Data Bank of Education targets $9.5 million. Local refineries to begin productions soon, says Tinubu. And how to prevent electoral shambles by Atahiru Jega. Okay, which story?
Let's take Serap. So Serap has written, the Deputy Director, Serap Kolawole Oluwadare, has written to the World Bank and its partners, and it says they should stop giving loans to the 36 states over, of course, allegations of mismanaging public funds including those loans that, states have obtained. He said that the World Bank should probe the spending of 8.5 billion in loans and other facilities given to the 36 governors in Nigeria. And he said that they cannot continue to do this because, of course, it is neither appropriate nor responsible lending to be giving loans to these states only for them to be misspent. He said the World Bank lending for these states may create the impression of complicity in the allegation of mismanagement or diversion of public funds by the states, which may include loans from the World Bank and its partners and federal allocations. According to the Debt Management Office, the total public debt portfolio for the country's 36 states and the FCT stands at 9.17 trillion, and that of the federal government public debt portfolio is 78.2 trillion. So we should revisit this loaning and borrowing issue.
So I have the federal government has taken steps to expedite local vaccine manufacturing and halt its importation. I'm taking it slowly because really I was trying to see what other things, but it seems like this is really a policy issue, just to say that we have finally come up with a plan which was developed in 2021 and it's a national plan for vaccine research and development in the country. They say it's the first of its kind in Africa. It highlights the role and relevant stakeholders in the vaccine landscape. We had the Minister of State for Health and Social Welfare, Dr. Tunji Alausa, just saying that federal government over the years has done so much, to make this a reality. Please, at this point, it's still policy they're talking about. So policy that allows for our country to be able to prepare its own vaccines. So this will bring a stop to importation of vaccines. And we have other stakeholders, especially I missed the person's name here. Okay, so this is Dr. Adigwe. He's the DG of NIPRD. He says that Africa is no longer interested in tokenistic interventions such as fill-finished products, but has become interested in building dependable, equitable, and veracious partnership that will enable the continent to undertake full R&D for the production of vaccines, he stressed. So really, it's just this policy will now allow us, it would give us like backing to start our own research and development of our own local vaccines. So this is the first step.
Right, go ahead. A quick story before you go. So President Bola Tinubu has already hinted that some local refineries will soon begin production of petroleum products. He said this immediately after he resumed office, and he said at least the Port Harcourt refinery will resume by December, will resume operations by December 2023, that's this year. And, he was at the 11th convocation ceremony of Michael Okpara University of Agriculture, Umudike, where they dropped the hint by the person who represented him, and he said he understands that immediately we start with our local refineries, these exorbitant prices of fuel that we are paying for would drastically reduce, and he's hoping that all of the refineries will also aid in the reduction of what we are paying right now. He understands all the sufferings we're going through, but he's asking that we be a little bit patient, that some of the policies will begin to yield very soon, and that will,
Just a reminder to Nigerians of what we read, right? Last week, they said by December 2023,
the Port Harcourt
will be ready.
Yes.
By first quarter, January next year, Warri will be ready. And by next year, 2024, Kaduna will be ready. So we have stamped it in our brain.
He's still saying it again.
I'm just saying, we are not forgotten.
When we took that story last week, a tweet came from where he's saying, every government, I've always said, the refineries will soon pick up.
Yeah.
So let us see.
Let's give benefit of the doubt.
And what I hear is that with what's on ground, this Port Harcourt thing may not work out at the time.
December.
Yes.
They're saying it again
with
today.
What's on ground, that if what you open your eye, go there and see. Wow. Does not look like it will happen.
Well, let's give them a benefit of the doubt. We have 4 weeks to go. We'll see how that goes. Any story in Tribune?
Okay, I have
a story.
Flight, I think.
Have I even taken the stories?
No,
Nigerian Tribune, why CBN governor is right on bank recapitalization, says expert. ECOWAS condemns attempt in coup in Sierra Leone. Suspense in Plateau over move to inaugurate assembly. NJC panel meets tomorrow to pick 11 new Supreme Court justices. Multiple bank charges amid rising inflation worrying Nigerians. And Petroleum Minister weighs into LPG supply price hike challenges.
Okay, so I have the NJC. So according to the Tribune, the Federal NJC has recommended 22 justices to be, appointed to the Supreme Court, and out of them, 11 from the appeal court will be looked into tomorrow to be promoted or appointed to the Supreme Court. Shook you off that.
Okay. So let me tell a story in.
Customers are worried about, that bank customers are worried about the multiple charges that they are paying for. They are paying so many charges. They said it comes to commissions, value-added tax, telco charges, stamp duty, transfer charges, amongst others. And this is, getting deep into their resources. So when you have money and you do a few transfers, your money drastically reduces. And this is, getting also into the revenue of the government. They said the government is a part of the people making money from these charges. So they call it electronic money transfer levy, which gets into government coffers. It says that a revenue of 14.102 billion electric money transfer levy was part of FAC distributable revenues out of the total 1.1 trillion revenue shared in August 2023 by the Federation Account Allocation Committee. And, they are also expecting that it will keep increasing as the year goes by. But this is not working for Nigerians. And so Nigerians are calling the federal government to reduce some of these politics that they are called anti-people's policies that are not working for the people, considering all the things that are going through and what people are suffering as a result of the removal of fuel subsidy. Is there a way they can, reduce some of these charges that is being deducted from people's accounts when they make transfers? One customer said something different, said in a place like Ghana, they're actually paying more than we are paying here. That here, government just collects a flat rate of 50 naira per every transaction that you make. But a place like Ghana, you pay like 1.something% of the total amount of money that you make. But he's not saying that a Nigerian government will do the same thing here, but it's just that people need to understand that they too need to be able to make money from the electronic transfers that they carry out.
Okay, we have to run.
These transfers that they do not, they don't give the telcos their money. The telcos are in the
federal government.
That's all we can take on Front Page Review. When we come back, we want our hot topic of the day. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.